I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me.
Welcome, boxing fans, to another installment of Corner to Corner Boxing. I'm Louie, joined as always by my co-host
What's
Carlos.
up, guys?
And we have a great guest with us here today, the legendary trainer, cutman, overall boxing personality, Rudy Hernandez. We're here at his beautiful home. So thank you for inviting us into your home and for giving us the time today, Rudy.
My pleasure, I think.
Yeah,
I'm not in trouble, am I?
No, you're good, man. Thank you.
Yeah. So before the camera started rolling, we were having a nice conversation. I mean, you're just like an encyclopedia of boxing knowledge. So just to set the stage, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background in boxing, how you got into boxing?
Okay. Well, my dad loved boxing, and I used to go to the Olympic and to the Forum. I remember the first fight I think I ever went to was at the Forum. It was I think Ruben, Olivares, and Mantequilla, Napoles were the main. They're the ones that opened up the Forum, and so I went out there, and I'm gonna say 1968 or something, somewhere around there, and I'm like only 6 years old, and but I just remember it being it was called the Fabulous Forum at the time, and it was super packed, and people showed up to see the fights and stuff. So then my dad had this bright idea that I should be a boxer, and I really didn't want to be a boxer, man. I was always scared to get hit, and I just didn't like it. And but it's not like I had a choice. My dad said, "Okay, I'm going to sign you up, and you're going to go and train. You're going to be a boxer." And I'm like, I didn't have a say so. So I ended up going, and a year later, my brother Gennaro, he said he wanted to box too. But he really wanted to box. I didn't, and so he started in boxing as well. And I did a few junior fights, and then turned amateur at the age of 16. From 16 to 18, you can, then I turned pro at 18 and had 17 professional fights.
So how old were you when your dad signed you up?
I was it was in August of 1974. 74. August of 1974 is when I started. And I was a couple of months away from being 12. So 11. Yeah.
What gyms did you train at?
We started at the Teamsters boxing gym on 8th and Agatha.
Okay.
No, Agatha and Crocker.
Okay.
That's between 7th Street and 8th Street over there by San Pedro.
Okay. And we know, like, in LA, especially during the time that you were coming up in boxing, there was just so many great champions that were training here, and they had their camps here. There were so many great gyms around the area. Did you ever share the ring with anyone in sparring, or anyone that you feel like, hey, that's a highlight?
Well, the thing that changed my mind about boxing was Alexis Arguello. I sparred with him at the Main Street Gym, and at the time I was 15 years old, and I was putting hands on him, man. I was pretty quick and hitting him, and I was a great gym fighter at the time.
Yeah.
And so then, I was asked to go 3 rounds, and so because I was doing so well and hitting him, he said, "Hey, give me one more round."
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, well, why not? I'm 15, and I'm like, I'm really dumb. I feel like I was like really dumb. I wasn't. I didn't know, and I just I just felt, oh shit, I'm kicking his butt, man. Like, what could he possibly do, right?
Yeah.
So and there was this one step that I would do, and he timed me, and when he timed me, man, he caught me right on the solar flex, man.
Wow.
He knocked the wind out of me, and I'm like, oh, damn, man. And I'm like, because I got greedy.
Yeah.
And after the workout, they were gonna give me $25, and so because I did that extra round, he gave me $40.
Oh wow!
And so now I got $40, right? And so I asked my dad if it was okay if I could buy myself some tennis shoes. So we go to downtown, and I buy me my brand new Nike leather tennis shoes. That was the first. They had just came out.
Yeah.
That was the first ones ever, man. And I think my tennis shoes cost more than all wardrobe I had at home. Nothing. I mean, yeah, it was just like they were like really, really expensive. And then when I went to school, the next day with my tennis shoes, damn, they were like, ooh,
That's awesome.
Yeah. $40 in the mid-70s was a couple $100 today, right?
Yeah, no, maybe even some people made about anywhere from I think like $50 to $60 a week.
And you
Wow.
made 40
And I made $40 in that one.
at
in that
15?
one. Yeah. And
Especially the story behind it. Like,
Yeah,
hey, like I threw hands with Alexis Arguello.
and
Yeah, won a couple rounds, it sounds like.
I won 3 damn. And then but what was great was that that day when I got the $40, I was like I remember saying, okay, this is what I'm going to be a world champion. I'm going to make a lot of money, and I'm going to live off of boxing.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I would go to school, and every Tuesday I would buy the Ring Mundial, the Mexican Ring Mundial.
Yeah.
And so I go to school and I would read the magazine. I didn't care about the school books or nothing like that. I was really, when it comes to school, man, I was like pretty dumb. Not because I was dumb. It's just that I just chose not to, do anything in school. I just pretty much went to school every day. And God honest truth, I had a perfect attendance from the 4th grade to the 12th grade. I
Wow.
never missed a day of school. And if I did, it was because there was a substitute, and I'd walk out and I just want to go back into the classroom.
Yeah.
But or I was supposed to go on a trip, and I didn't go on a trip, and I didn't want to go to something. That's pendejadas, man.
Yeah.
So, but I had a perfect attendance from school, and even in high school, on the magazine, was it yearbook?
Yeah.
It'll say there that guys that had the people that had a perfect attendance all 3 years, and my name is on there.
Yeah.
What school was that?
Roosevelt High.
Okay. So you went to school in East LA?
In East LA, yeah.
Okay.
So what was your nickname when you were boxing?
Chicano.
Chicano.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes
That's why
sense.
my brother's Chicanito.
That makes sense. Who gave you the nickname?
Vicente Fernandez.
Vicente Fernandez? The singer?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Well, my dad and my uncles, they grew up with him in the neighborhood when they were young, when they were kids.
Jalisco.
Okay. My dad's from Guadalajara. And so my dad was more friends with his father.
Okay.
And because Vicente was like I don't know, like maybe 10 years younger than my dad. So he didn't deal with him. But I'm gonna find this picture. I know I have it somewhere here. When I'm there with Vicente Fernandez, and so we go to see him at the $1 Million, and my dad tells him, oh yeah, este muchacho, he's gonna be a boxer. He just started boxing. Like I think I maybe a week or two going to the box, and so Vicente decided, he goes, oh, you're gonna be a boxer? He goes, yeah. Pues ponte Chicano. And I go, and then my dad goes, oh, el Chicano? No, nomás así Chicano. And that's how I got the name Chicano. And
Wow.
and so years go by, and he's performing at the Universal Studios.
Yeah.
And my brother's a world champion at the time.
Yeah.
So we go see him, and they let us in because he's a world champion, and so I tell Vicente, oh yeah, and I even showed him the picture. How's that? I said, I showed him the picture, and I said, look, I mean, you meet a bunch of people, and my dad, is Velasco, but you knew more. Tío Antonio Hernandez, el guate.
Yeah.
And we're talking about like way back in the days. And he's met so many freaking people.
Yeah.
But when I told him that my dad was more like more friends with my dad was more friends with his dad who owned a pool hall.
Yeah.
And when I said the pool hall, he knew that I was bullshitting.
Oh yeah.
That I knew about the pool hall and stuff, and so that he was very gracious with us. Come on, sit down, sit.
Yeah.
And I showed him the picture where I'm there with him in the Alicia Juarez and Vicente Fernandez and myself in the picture. And then my uncle who he had already passed away when I had showed him. He goes, oh yeah, he remembered he had remembered my uncle, and of course, at least at Fighters, he remembered who she was.
Yeah.
But anyways, and that's me right there, man.
Yeah.
That's in the best shape I've ever been in my life. You notice all the muscles in there, man?
That was really easy. Can you send us that?
Yeah. That you know what's crazy, man, is that that was just the best shape I had ever been. Huh?
Do you still have it up?
Yeah, I have it here. It's there. Did you guys the number? Oh no.
Yeah, so you can send it. You can send it after.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
I'll remind you. But what you have a belt on there? What belt is that?
That was the Schlitz tournament title. The forum held the Schlitz tournament, and it was like that was the first one of the first boxing shows that the forum did a tournament, and in that tournament the winner got 40,000 and the loser got 10, and also a ranking. Probably try to get a ranking and stuff.
Wow.
So what weight was that at?
That was a welterweight, and Lupe Aquino, I beat Lupe Aquino in the semifinals. Because there was 3 fights. The first fight I won by a knockout in I think it was like the 5th or the 6th round. I hit a guy to the liver, and he had been talking shit at the weigh-in, right? So then when he goes down, I go, stay your ass down, motherfucker. Something stupid like that, right? But what's crazy is that, I don't think it's, there was a commercials for boxing and stuff, you know, on Channel 9 when the Lakers would be playing and stuff. There was a commercial would come out on Channel 9, you know, foreign boxing, blah blah blah, right? And you could see me doing that. That commercial went on for a year, for several years, man. It would come on Channel 9, you know, when the Lakers were playing, and they would announce the boxing.
That's badass.
And when the first time I fought in at the forum was in August of 1982. And when I went up in the ring, Jerry Buzz was saying, "Oh, poor kid, man, that kid's gonna get hurt, man."
About you?
Because I fought this black dude, right?
Yeah.
And so I show you the picture because you see there was no fucking muscles, no nothing, right?
Yeah.
So and that was the best shape I had ever been.
Yeah.
And and Jerry Buzz was like, "Oh man, poor kid." Man. So I ended up winning that fight, right?
Wow.
So then, as we're walking out, one of I forget the guy's name, and he used to, on 21 Jump Street, the black kid that was an actor.
Okay.
As I'm walking out, he goes, "Hey, wait a minute, Rudy, hey, Jerry Buzz wants to meet you. You know Jerry Buzz?" I go,
Wow.
"Yo, Lakers." And he goes, "Yeah, him." And so Jerry Buzz comes up and he goes, "Hey, well, that's not you. That's not him." He goes, "Well, no, that's me. I did fight earlier." He goes, "That's not you." He goes, "Hey, well, take your T-shirt off." So I take my T-shirt off and go, "Oh yeah, that is you." True story, man. True story.
Wow.
How did you win the fight? Do you remember? Was it a decision?
A unanimous decision.
Okay, so
It wasn't, even my dad, who was my trainer and my manager, he didn't think I would win.
Wow.
He was already happy that I was going to get $10,000.
Yeah.
And my brother Joe is the only one that had confidence. I didn't even have that confidence in me, but he did. My brother Joe thought that I would win, and sure enough, and another guy named Joe Hernandez, a Puerto Rican Joe Hernandez. I don't know. He had been in boxing for a while, and he used to like to gamble, and so he goes, "Hey, mijo, how do you feel?" And I go, "I feel good." He goes, "You think you're gonna win?" I go, "Yeah, I know I'm gonna win." "Are you sure?" "Yeah, I'm positive, man." In my mind, you know, and so he put up the money, the payroll.
Yeah.
He put up the payroll from this businessman because he was hurting a little bit with money. So he took the odds. The odds were anywhere from 4 to 10 to 1.
Wow.
And
So he was happy.
yeah.
to say the least. And I won a unanimous decision, and Jerry Buzz after the fight, man, he went up in the ring, and there's a picture of me and him hugging.
Yeah.
And so Magic Johnson was there, and a few other celebrities were there because it was the finals of the tournament.
Yeah.
And so I won that tournament, and the next day, well, I was invited to go to the Laker game and to the Kings.
Yeah.
So on Jerry Buzz's, he had this little box up and that were like, you know, they had like a waitress that come around. Well, first of all, we had dinner.
Wow.
I had dinner at the restaurant there with him, and then after the dinner, we went to go watch the game, and after the Laker game, we went downstairs, and to me, I was introduced to all the players. And,
Wow.
And Magic Johnson, it was a great fight, Rudy. Yeah.
That's
Like,
amazing.
It was a big deal.
Was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar
1983.
playing at the time?
I met Kareem Abdul.
Wow.
In the 1983 team.
Wow.
No Nixon and and so and I was a big Laker fan at the time.
Yeah.
I was a Laker fan from 1980 on because I got just hooked on basketball.
Yeah.
And so then fast forward, my brother now we're talking about 1992.
Yeah.
My brother's a world champion,
Yeah.
and we're fighting at the forum. And after the fight, after my brother wins a decision, we go to we're up there, right? So they announce my brother the winner. So then Magic comes over to the corner and goes, Rudy, and then I turn around, and then I get Magic, right? And I turn around, look at my brother, check it out, General. Fucking Magic knows me. We both started laughing up in the ring.
That's awesome.
But it was cool, man. And the last time I saw Jerry Buss was at 2 times. I saw him over at when Mike Alvarado beat Prescott. We're coming out of the press conference and Jerry Buss is about to walk in, and he says, and we bump into each other. Oh, they go, Rudy. And I go, Jerry. And it was funny back because I have people say, damn man, Jerry Buss knows you, and they go, oh yeah, man, we go back.
Yeah.
But it was through boxing, and then and the last time I saw him was at the Commerce Casino. I used to always go to the comedy show on Thursdays. It was a comedy show at the Commerce Casino, and so I'm leaving the show's over and we're leaving. It's almost 11 o'clock at night, and Jerry Buss pulls up in a Camry. Well, he has a guy driving and he's with the guy, and you would never have thought that Jerry Buss would be in that car.
I would imagine, yeah.
I mean, it was just here's a guy who drives around Rolls Royces and everything else, man. But that guy, he was such a down to earth guy.
Yeah.
And he said, why haven't you called me? And I go, I don't know, Jeremy, you're a busy man.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to do is, I'm not a leech. Don't say that. Because I never really, I never called him to see about a game, but the only 2 times I did go was because it was the Lakers, the one game, and then the Kings.
Yeah.
And that's when I met Dwayne Gretzky.
Oh wow.
So but at the end, I never took, and I invited to parties and stuff like that, gatherings and stuff, and I never went because I was never a party person.
You weren't trying to just use your.
No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Yeah, because I don't know, man. Me da vergüenza.
Yeah.
Kind of type of thing, I don't want nobody to think that I'm like, yesterday some motherfucker called me a freeloader.
What?
Huh.
Yeah.
I go, what did you say, man? The fucking freeloader? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Why?
We're at the 24-hour fitness center.
Okay.
And the guy says, I know what you're trying to do, man. You're trying to fucking freeload.
Out of what? Like the air conditioning?
No, because they give you the 3-day pass.
Yeah.
And so estos cabrones, they wanted to go play a racquetball, and I'm like, all right, let's go. And we hadn't been there in a long time. So it turns out that we went to the Hawaiian Gardens, so that was closed. And since that was closed, we ended up at the 24-hour center, which is only like a couple of miles away from there. So that's why we ended up there. But I was like, I thought that was very offensive, man.
Yes.
Yeah. Call me a freeloader. Tell me, man, that's the last thing I have.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to freeload, man, it's going to be big. It's not going to be like pendejaditas,
So did you kind of check him, or how did that?
Hell yeah. Tony G. He was there. I go, what the fuck did you say? Because it bothered me because like what did the guy say? That we're what?
Freeload.
Oh.
I guess it was his fault.
For playing rack. Okay.
Yeah, man. So
so se calmó.
yeah, he like I go, And then I was really pissed, man. So I even took down. I was gonna. His name is Alexis, and I said, I'm gonna call this guy. I'm gonna call him Corp.
Oh, it was a worker that's
yeah, a fucking employee.
Oh, wow.
Man, and so then I come down now, and I'm sitting there waiting for him because he's gonna call security to get me kicked out. Oh yeah, okay, go ahead, call him. Go ahead and call him. And I went to go down, and I sat down, and I'm waiting. And I'm fucking waiting, and like a couple of people call in. I'm like, no security, no security. And then I'm like, hey, what the fuck time? What time is security coming? Oh, we didn't call him. And I'm like, oh, shit, man. Yeah, I'm wasting my time. And then I just started laughing. I go, you know what, man? I walked up to the table and I said, look, man, you go to school? He goes, yeah. You're in school? I go, yeah. I go, okay, well then. Yeah, and you're a manager? I go, man. Learn to use your words, man.
Yeah.
If you have no idea whatever you give me this, man.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the goddamn thing, man, it's like you can't. You're supposed to take care of customers.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like borderline. It's just disrespectful.
Right.
Like, especially like I would assume like, I mean, not only are you a guest, but I mean, he's probably a younger guy. Like, you don't talk to people like that. Like,
I'm
that's
yeah. I'm 61. The pinche mocoso like what,
Yeah.
18, 19 years old, calling me a fucking freeloader. And if I wanted, and there's like I said, well, I could have freeloaded out of a Jerry bus. I did it.
Yeah.
You know, like I met some very wealthy people, man.
Oh man,
And
yeah.
I don't need chop for anybody, man. Because like that's just not me, man. Man, I gotta win some.
Yeah.
Like, especially for somebody to say to throw it in my face one day, and I'm like, fuck, I just can't. You know? It's just my personality.
Yeah.
So Rudy, we're 20 minutes in on this interview, and you name dropped some heavy hitters: Alexis Arguello, Jerry Buss in the Showtime Lakers, Vicente Fernandez, Alexis from 24 Hour Fitness. So you came up
He's my hero now.
Yeah, you came up in what a lot of people consider the golden age of boxing in LA, which was the 70s, early 80s. What was the vibe back then? Like, you know, was it more like down the street? How many were you running into? A lot more boxing fans, a lot more boxers themselves.
Oh, it was a whole different world, completely different. There was you know what the UFC is like today?
Yeah.
That's how boxing used to be. Every week there was an event. There was a big fight going on, and it was just, and people showed up to watch the fight.
Shit.
Look, when you go to the UFC, the first fight could be the fight of the night.
Yeah.
And so from the very beginning to the very end, it's a stacked card. He had Dana White and the team have it right.
Yeah.
Where they put on an event. It's not about a fighter. It's an event. Everybody goes. You know, how many times have you not read that the main event gets taken down and then the co-main comes up,
Yeah.
and then those others come up too, and then they put in another fight.
Yeah.
And nobody, it's rare that anybody will go back and say, well, I want a refund on my ticket, because that doesn't happen. And they stack. People will show up to watch the very first fight because, like I said, man, it's stacked. And boxing used to be that way.
What do you think happened?
Well, a few things happened. The first one to come to screw everything up was Oscar De La Hoya.
Okay.
Yeah, because they when he came on board, he said that he was gonna change boxing.
Yeah.
And he sure did.
Yeah.
He fucked it up. You know, and what he did was he put on the main event,
Yeah.
but he put nothing underneath. Nothing on the undercards. There was nothing. And it was all about making more money and keeping money but not sharing it.
Yeah.
And so I don't think he should have taken lessons from Don King and putting in, you know, you have Mike Tyson, Trinidad, Chavez, Terry Norris, Simon Brown. And that's just, and other times we had different varieties as fighters as well. And but we all tune in to watch the very first fight on the pay-per-view.
Right.
And they came and messed it up. And Top Rank followed in Oscar's lead. They also didn't do a whole lot of stacking like they did before. And they, little by little, you know, he started losing fans, and the events weren't as important, where people just started showing up to watch the main event. Yeah. And that hurt the sport. And also, you know, fights were not competitive. And everybody's thinking about undefeated records. Or undefeated. It's not everybody could be as talented as, say, Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there's other fighters that you can lose. and still gain respect and be a top dog one day.
I mean, yeah, 99.9% of boxers have a loss, and you're talking about guys like Ray Leonard,
Yes.
Alexis Arguello,
Uh-huh.
Duran. These are all-time greats,
All-time
and the list goes on and on. Right?
In great fights. And then also, what was important was that look, it's the promoter. People don't understand this. Like, oh, Don King used to rip everybody off. I go, but did he rip you, the fan, as a fan, did he rip you off? No, because he stacked in those cards and you watch. And the promoter needs to make money.
Right.
If the promoter doesn't make money, so how is he going to put on a show?
Right.
It's a money thing. Look, and it's been said, it's not like it's a secret. People complain about that the UFC doesn't pay. Well, I look at it this way. You signed a contract and you accepted the terms, so suck it up, move on, fight, and you can make more money somewhere else, and then you go somewhere else. But for the time being, you have to honor a contract, and this is what you're getting, and this is what you signed up for. And I used to tell my brother the same thing. I go, look, when you sign the contract, shut the fuck up, deal with it, move on, because you accepted the terms, and once you accept the terms, you can't be crying about it. Yeah, but the promoter made billions of dollars. Yeah, good. And we keep seeing fights over and over again. And that's what's important, that the show goes on. We have to keep going on. And right now, fighters are like, look at the PBC fighters. Like right now, those dumb fucks, man, they're fighting like maybe once every year, a year and a half, 2 years, maybe up to 3 years. In 3 years, one guy may have like one fight, maybe two fights, trying to make $1 million. And dude, look at all the money he's lost. Nobody did it better than Julio Cesar Chavez. Yeah. Julio Cesar Chavez fought in Las Vegas and made a couple of $1 million. And then he went back a month and a half later and fought in Culiacan for 100,000.
Yeah.
Well, whatever it was. And so he made his money, a little bit of money. He was just consistent, being consistent. And that's the thing about boxing. It's like you gotta be consistent. If you want to stay sharp, well then you have to continue to work. And you want to be relevant, then, people have to remember who the hell you are. But right now, like, who's the top 5 fighters in boxing right now? Like, who would you say are the money makers?
Canelo.
Okay, everybody will say Canelo first.
And it's a drop off from there. Like the second doesn't.
I can tell you, like, maybe I'll say like Anthony Joshua. Yeah. I can.
Tank Davis.
Fury. Tyson Fury.
Yeah. And Tank Davis, not maybe as much, but yeah.
Well, Ryan Garcia, I would put Ryan.
Ryan Garcia is a moneymaker. Yeah.
For sure.
And but you gotta really think hard to even to know that that's what you have. And
so Louie and I have talked about this at different times, and it seems like it's just there's a different business model. Like in the UFC, for example, it doesn't matter how many times you lose. Like, people just keep on watching the fights. I've heard even Dana White say sometimes we go into whatever part of the world, London, wherever, and we don't even announce the card. We just say the UFC is coming, and we sell out the arena because they know it's going to be quality.
Because they already know that they're going to get their money's worth.
So in boxing, the business model is completely different. Like Dana White calls it, every boxing match is like a going out of business sale. Like, you just want to get your undefeated guy to fight another undefeated guy, hype him up, and make as much money as you can, and forget about the quality of the undercard, forget about everything. Just completely different business model. Do you think it's like, who's at fault? Is it mostly the promoters? Is it the fighters? Like, who can demand change?
It's their fault.
Okay.
Because what Dana White does is like, okay, let's say he comes to you, hey, you're gonna fight so and so. Well, nothing. Fuck out of here.
You're gonna fight.
Hey, you're gonna fight so and so.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Okay, make that fight.
Yeah.
Hey, you're gonna fight so and so. All right. Okay, fuck. Next. And he's not looking to accommodate you.
Yeah.
He's looking to look. George St. Pierre is a badass dude.
Yeah, he's badass.
He's a badass man. When George St. Pierre decided to retire, or he got injured and stuff like that, and he tried, he was trying to negotiate a contract, and I understand that it goes both ways. That he wants to get paid more, and why not? If you can, you can. If you can't, you can. So he was sidelined. It was I think it might have been it was mutual. I think because he wasn't ready, and why they were going to promote somebody who wasn't ready, and the show must go on.
Yeah.
And nobody. And one of the great things about Dana White is that and I told the guys at work, they go, nothing comes before those three letters, UFC. Nothing is above them. No fighter, no employee. Everybody is replaceable.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about anything or anybody in the sense of if you want a strong arm, okay, well then you're not gonna win.
Yeah.
Because he's got a business to run.
Yeah.
And the fans are grateful because they show up to watch the shows and like man, there's times there I'm working there the corners, man. Now I get so caught up in the fight that I forget that I'm working.
I bet.
So speaking about that, a lot of our listeners know you for your boxing background, but why don't you tell us a little bit about your UFC work and how you got into that?
Well, I ended up being I got a phone call. Okay, first of all, a good deed. Okay, you know how you always hear like people say about, oh, you do a good deed, things happen, right? So you had mentioned Jose Armando Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
He's a WBC lightweight champion at the time. We lose the belt to David Diaz.
Yeah.
And his and so we, we both end up in the hospital, and at the end, they come out first. David Diaz and his manager come out first, and then so he goes. He says, I told him, he said, I'm gonna catch a taxi. I go, no, taxi, no, man, you're the world champion. I'm gonna have my brother take you back. I told my brother, hey, take him back, and he goes, no, I said, can we get a taxi? I go, no, it's okay. My other brother's coming too, so he'll give you a ride. So my brother gave them a ride back to the hotel. And so a few weeks later, I get a phone call from the guy, and he says, hey, Rudy, man, you know what? You want to be a cutman? I go, sure, why not? He goes, yeah, the UFC. And I go, what the hell's the UFC? I had no idea what the hell he was talking about. I hadn't even heard about mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
I had seen some guys train at the alley boxing, but I never paid attention to none of it. Like, it just didn't make no sense to me. I just thought they were learning, karate or they were just doing their thing, jiu-jitsu and stuff. And so that's all I didn't see anything. So I get hired, and I'm going to be the cutman, right? So I go over there, and it's Stage, Don House, and Leon Tabs. Those are the three guys over there, and me. I'm number 4.
Wow.
And I see like, oh shit, these guys have all these things. And I mean, I have certain things that I had no idea that I needed. Q-tips and swabs and stuff like that. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, man, these guys.
They're super professional.
I had an inswell.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching what they're doing, and I'm like, okay. And shit, man, I started just they told me to wrap hands. And I go, okay, wrap hands. And I go, okay, I had an idea. I know how to wrap hands, but they didn't. They were mixed martial artists, and so it was a little different. So a little bit less padding, a little bit less thing. So I started, kind of like figuring it out. And so, but the thing is that none of them ever told me anything. Stage, Don House, or Leon Tabs. None of them took the time to tell me, okay, man, this is how we do things here, and this. They didn't do that. Yeah. So I'm that guy now. So when other guys came in, I was like, okay, man, this is how we're gonna do. This is how we do things. And so give them a rundown, because no one did it for me, and I thought that was kind of wrong. Yeah. And so I told you the guys, and so I started watching how they were doing things, and then then I started working. I think it wasn't until like about 6 months or 8 months working with them that I went to work the cage. And I worked a cut. I worked a couple of cuts on it. So I kind of went around looking and seeing how to do things. And so as time went by, I got really good at it. And all by experience, by watching, by thinking, okay, how can I make this better? How can I do these things better? And today I can tell you, man, that there's a bunch of goddamn cutmen out there, man, that suck. Yeah. They're really well known. Yeah. Well known. But I would not hire them. Yeah. Because they're not capable to do the job that I would expect from them.
So, thank you for bringing that up. I watch a lot of USC and UFC and a lot of boxing. So in boxing, it also seems like with the corner is like completely different model. Like in boxing, you work with your guys and that's it. Like, you know, they'll hire you for that fight, or you're always kind of working with your guys. In the UFC, I always see like they announce who the cutmen are, and sometimes you work with one fighter, but then the next fight you'll work with the opponent of that fighter. It seems like they have their stable of guys and they'll kind of mix and match. Have there been like times where you have a certain fighter that says, "Hey, I want to work with Rudy," or like, "Hey, I want Rudy to do this"? Like
George St. Pierre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
George
that's
St. Pierre.
badass.
I'll tell you what's funny, man. We had my story with George St. Pierre, how we met. Okay, we're in Canada, and I go to the room and I go, "Hey, are you guys ready to get wrapped? Or you know, should I come back, or do you guys want to, you know?" He goes, "Oh no, we don't want you, man. We want Stitch."
Yeah.
But that wasn't George St. Pierre. That was one of the people, one of his corners.
For Rouse or something.
Somebody else from his team, right? So and I go, well, he's not here. But if I said, okay. I go, oh, he's not here. But you can jump on the next flight that heads out to Germany, and hopefully you can get wrapped and be back on time for fight time.
Yeah.
And they're like, and George St. Pierre like, he's completely ignored me, right?
Yeah.
So he just no reaction whatsoever. So the guy goes, "Okay, well then you can do it then."
Yeah.
I go, "Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it."
Thanks,
And
man.
I said, "Okay, we can left or right." So I'm gonna ask him, puncher or grappler. No, I didn't even ask him that because I was just starting off. But I was kind of like, I wasn't completely new, but I was, I still wasn't that savvy on it.
Yeah.
So then I said, okay, so I started wrapping his hands. And so as soon as I go 2 times around his wrist, the guy goes, one of the guys goes, "Hey man, I've never seen you here before." And I go, and I said, "Well, it's only my 3rd time doing this, man, but I hear I'm getting better at it." And George St. Pierre, that's the only time George St. Pierre looks at me like, and I keep doing it too, right? So then when I was done, he goes, "Oh wow, this is good." Oh, he was like really pleased with the hand wrap.
Yeah.
So that was on Saturday, right? So on Tuesday, I drive out to Arizona because the UFC had just purchased the WEC.
Yeah.
And so it was a Wednesday show in Arizona. So I pull up on Tuesday, and as I had just checked into the hotel, Bert Watson comes over he's in the lobby and he goes, "Hey Rudy, I need to talk to you." He goes, "Check this out. I got a text message from for St. Pierre."
Yeah.
He goes, "Hey, check it out, man." He reads it, he goes, "Hey, from now on, I only want the guy with the Bluetooth and the toothpick to wrap my hands around my corner."
The toothpick and Bluetooth.
Yeah, because that's how I was known from the toothpick and the Bluetooth.
Got it.
And I'm like, "Oh, all right." And I told him the story, and he just started laughing. I go, "But I'm getting better, right, Bert?" And Bert just started laughing. And
That fight was in Canada?
that was in Canada.
Was it the Matt Serra, Jake Shields fight? Which one was it? Was it at the Rogers Center? Like the big...
No, I think the Diaz.
The Diaz fight?
Yeah, the Diaz. I think
Oh, when he fought Nick Diaz?
Uh-huh.
Oh, so it's at the big Rogers Center?
It was like 55,000.
Yeah, shit.
The tickets were sold out in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
In 5 minutes, I think it was sold out, right? And so, one of my favorite stories on the UFC would be, and it was personal, Junior Dos Santos when he wins the world title in Las Vegas.
Okay.
So my wife and I, we go on Friday. We're in Las Vegas, and we had a Yorkie. She had just had puppies.
Yeah.
And so we didn't know where to leave the damn dog, so we took the dogs with us and the puppies. And so we go, and so then I'm done with Junior Santos. I had wrapped his hands and everything. He always requested me too. So he wins the title. I go in there to clean him up or something. Maybe some blood on him. Yeah. And he picks me up, man. Like, holy shit, man. I'm like, he was, how he was pretty tall guy, right? So he fucking picks me up, and I'm like, and the arena's packed.
Yeah.
It's completely full. And I'm like, damn, man. And then for the first time, I think I felt like, damn, I'm really big here.
Yeah.
It's big, right? So I go back to the room and I tell my wife, I said, man, Dos Santos just picked me up, man, raised me up, and I'm like, fucking what a moment, And she goes, "Oh wow, qué bien, great." And she goes, "Papi, hazme un favor, levanta la sociedad que dejaron los perros. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, no problem. And so I said, so you know, I don't care what you do in life, who you are, but when you come home and you have a wife, fuck that, go pick that shit up. So she like, and it was funny, man, because I go, yeah, over there, yeah, I was, you know, they're grateful for being here, and here I'm a husband and I got to do my duties.
Yeah.
So you know, this is. It doesn't matter who the hell, where you are or go, you know, reality.
Are there like major differences between working with like UFC guys, MMA guys, and boxing guys? Like, is there? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Big difference. I think the MMA guys are more appreciative.
Oh wow.
They're more. They just appreciate things more.
Do you think that comes
They're
from
not
that
prima donnas, man?
we talked about that, right? Like where MMA fighters are obligated to a contract, so when you compare them to boxers, are more like the blue collar type of guys, where when you're working with a bigger boxer, he's the main event, nobody else.
I think it all has to do with respect, with because it's like okay, boxing. Okay, first of all, boxers. How many do you think have an education? How many
Not very
went to they haven't done a whole lot, and that's one thing. And also, in martial arts, they're I don't care what you do, they're very good. They're thankful. They're always thinking, or they're always like the humbleness in it is just like different. Boxers, God, what is my name? They just want to get the fuck out of here. They're a pain. Sometimes they can be a pain in the butts, but again, this is the structure that boxing has. That's who they are. MMA is a different story. They have a different box of life. They respect their coaches and their trainers, and they're grateful.
Yeah.
As a corner man, I know that in boxing, you have to follow the different commissions of whatever state you're fighting in.
Mm-hmm.
They have different rules about hand wraps or what you can use for cuts. Is it like that for the UFC too, or is it all?
They try to be.
Okay.
Well, I get in trouble a lot because I challenge their authority.
The commissions.
With the commissions, yeah.
Okay.
And there's been a few commissions that have told they have spoken to the UFC and said, yeah, don't bring Rudy Hernandez.
Oh wow.
And I'm not going to Brazil this weekend because they don't like me over there.
Yeah.
And the thing is because I challenge authority, and it's like and I'm not trying to be mean or nothing. It's just that my job is to wrap your hands, and I'm going to do it to the best of my knowledge and to the abilities and stuff. So I want to make sure that when you fight, the problem is not going to be an issue with your hands. It's going to you're going to fight, and so I'm trying to protect the hand, and that's it. And I feel like I'm really good at it because I have different vision of how to wrap hands and stuff, and I'll roll the gauze and make it like let's say like a tube.
Yeah.
And it could be hard.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh man, that's too damn hard. I go, it's an illusion. Hand wrapping is an illusion, but it also a protection of how to protect your hand. And so when I tell the guys, I say, look, this is what I'm provided with, gauze and tape. Yeah. So what I do with it should be none of your business.
Yeah. No.
Like as long as you can't put tape on the knuckles, and I go, why not? Yeah. He goes, well, because it turns into a cast. And when the guys from the commission say that, it bothers me. It doesn't bother me as much anymore because I'm like, they're just dumbasses, man. Yeah. They have a freaking idea that gauze and tape, that's all it is gauze and tape. It's never going to turn into a cast unless you cheat and you do something that's out of the ordinary. Now that's a different story. But if you're giving me gauze and tape to wrap, I've always said this to them. I said, look, if my fighter's opponent wants to put tape on the skin from here to here, and then put gauze and make it. I don't care how many rolls he puts on the hand and everything else. I'll sign off on it. I don't have a problem. No, but you don't understand it. No, the one that doesn't understand is you, because I don't care if you put tape, gauze. It's never going to be a cast because it's gauze and tape. So, and I've told commissioners where, okay, after the fight, you say this is really hard, okay, and you're not happy with it, but okay, work it out. Go to the gym and do this in the gym. For your own knowledge. Go do this in the gym and work out. Give me a full workout. And after the workout, you're gonna cut that gauze off, and you're gonna know that thing never got hard.
Yeah.
Unless you put some plaster in there. Now it's a different story.
Yeah.
How much has boxing changed and the controls around what's allowed in the corner? How much has that changed since when you started? You started in boxing almost 50 years ago.
70s, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that the problem with these guys, man, is that okay, first of all, the dumbest thing they ever say is this, like, oh, we're looking out for the safety of the fighter. And that bothers me because I'm like, shut the fuck up. Because you're fucking full of shit. You're licensed a guy. You're licensed a fighter.
Right.
Whether it's male or female, doesn't matter. Thing is that if you really want to look out for the interest of a fighter, well then, don't let them go in that ring or the octagon or anything else, because like all it takes is one punch to change that person's life forever.
Yeah.
Because the damage can be costly. I go, so don't tell me that, oh, you're looking out for the fighter. No, if you're really looking out for the fighter, make fights even. Make them to where, like, it's like, it's going to be like almost an even fight.
Yeah.
Right? Of course, someone's going to be a little bit better than the other. But don't put an undefeated kid with 8 wins, 7 knockouts, fighting a guy who has 2 wins, 5 losses, no knockouts. But you'll okay that.
Yeah.
From a corner perspective, like, some of the more notable events is like, what was that? Louis Resto with Panama Lewis. Lewis was involved in two major
pieces of shit.
Yeah, 2 major events with
Aaron Pryor.
With Aaron Pryor and Alexis Arguello.
That's
and then
right.
recently you had what was in early 2000? You had Margarito against Cotto with the hand wrap with the
Against
plaster.
Shane Mosley here at the Staples.
Yeah. So how much has the commission evolved to prevent things like that?
Okay, let's say I'm wrapping your hand, right? Okay, I have your hand, right? Okay, let's say, you and I are doing this. I'm getting you ready, right? I go, okay, you see that pole right there? You see that thing right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me how big that bottle is.
I don't know, like
Small.
What did I just do to your hand?
distracted.
Yeah.
I just distracted you, right? So
Yeah.
I did this to your hand, right?
Yeah.
He didn't see me do this to you.
Yeah.
So I already put something in there. And so like
Gotcha.
you're, because I could be talking to you and that's exactly how that shit goes.
Yeah.
And
His
that's
hands
how
are
that
soft,
goes.
huh?
Huh?
His hands are soft?
Yeah. Well, mine is softer. No, but okay. Look, at the end of the goddamn day, it's like, I think people like that are pieces of shit, man.
Yeah.
And
Of course.
he used to be my cousin, the one that died, Capetillo.
Oh.
Yeah, he was my first cousin. He started in boxing with me, but he would have denied it. He goes, no, I was already a fucking boxing coach in Mexico.
Yeah.
Him and my dad are fucking full of shit because they learned with me.
That's
wow.
Margarito's
Trainer.
Yeah.
And like, and I think at the end of the goddamn day, man, when you can do something like that, and it just, I mean,
It's an evil
it's
thing
a
to do.
fucking, it's a
Yeah.
chicken shit thing to do because
Yeah.
you're looking at two, like, let's reverse it. How would he feel had his son been the guy taking that beating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or his family members, how would they feel if it was the other way around?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I watch all types of sports, from football, soccer, to just everything, baseball, right? But there's 2 sports where I feel like cheating, absolutely, there's no way you can do it. MMA and boxing, because these aren't regular sports. You're putting your life on the line. So when you do anything, like whether it's steroids or you do something where you put, plaster in your knuckles,
Yeah, that's
just
fucking wrong.
That's like criminal.
Okay, now I will say this though.
Yeah.
I know it's not proper and it's not right,
Yeah.
but in boxing, because we're talking about boxing. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
not talking about anything else but boxing. I go boxing. You can go. My brother went from making $500,000
Yeah.
against Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah.
In his next fight, he got paid $25,000,
Yeah.
and that's because the forum offered him $15,000.
Yeah.
Top Rank offered him $25,000. So when you win, you're gonna make big money.
Yeah.
But when you lose, man, you're way at the bottom of the barrel. So
Yeah.
with that said, we're gonna backtrack when I was boxing.
Yeah.
My last win was against Eddie Nuno. We fought at the Forum.
Yeah.
And he was a short little guy, southpaw, and guy was kicking my ass, man. He was just pretty faster than I was, and I couldn't figure him out. So in the third round, I accidentally headbutted him. But that was an accident, though.
Yeah.
After that, I fucking headbutted him again, and again, and again, and again.
Yeah.
And the referee not once caught me headbutting him.
Yeah.
Because the referee, I saw that the referee has a blind side in the ring, man. I didn't realize how smart I was in the damn ring.
Yeah.
And so the referee went that way, and so when he was going that way, I headbutted him over here, but I threw the punch at the same time.
Yeah.
The referee never saw me headbutt him, but he just thought that I hit him with a punch.
Yeah.
And then on the vice versa this way too. He goes that way on this side. Like you're looking at me right here, right? So you can't see this side on my back. If I'm here, you wouldn't be able to see. So I must have headbutted him about 10, 12 times. And busted him up and everything.
And that's a little different.
But these are my tools.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
in the fight, this is my tools. This is what I'm using. Now, if the referee doesn't see it, then I'm happy.
Yeah.
Luke Pacquiao taught me something in the ring. He poked my eye like 3 times.
Yeah.
3 times. And so I didn't, there was a chance that I wasn't going to make the fight, the following month, the fight, because maybe I had a torn retina or something, because I couldn't really see out of my eye the next day of the fight. So I went to see the eye doctor, and he told me that I had a bruised eye. It was just bruised, and I'm like, but it would just give it a day or two, just ice it, and you should be okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and sure enough, 2 days later, I was good to go again.
Yeah.
But he poked my damn eye 3 times. And got it on me.
Yeah, there's a lot of fighters that are known for dirty tactics. You know,
I
that
wouldn't
are
say
within,
dirty tactics.
Yeah,
like
They're
creative.
they're being very creative
Yeah.
and finding ways to win. Because if you're not, there was a saying. Well, the saying goes that if you're not cheating, it means you're not trying.
Yeah.
Right? That's what the saying is.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
wouldn't say cheating.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, well, these are my tools, and this is what I'm in the ring with, and this is how I'm going to survive the fight. And it's a fight.
Yeah, and when it's among boxers and everything else is level, that just shows a different level of IQ or tactics. Like you look at one of the most notable guys with these type of tactics is Hopkins. Yeah, one of the best.
or Holyfield.
Or Holyfield, Andre Ward. Like all these guys were all-time greats that were known for using these things. Even Floyd. Like if you look at Floyd, like every time, he would use his clinch a lot. He would wrap guys' arms. Like it's not necessarily a headbutt or an elbow, or
hitting like right after the
but
break.
it's against the rules, right? Like
Yes.
and he would just within the rules where he wouldn't get penalized.
And again, we're basing it on the tools. When I walk into that ring, I'm the tool.
Yeah.
How I use it and how I can get away with it, that's a different story.
But you're not removing
I'm not
padding
I'm not putting cast or nothing down on the hands and stuff. So but at the end of the day, man, it's like winning means everything.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. Winning means everything.
Yeah, especially like you mentioned, you can go from 500,000
To 25,000.
Yeah, so you gotta.
So aside from being a cutman, you're also a trainer.
I'm a boxing coach by trade.
Yeah.
I'm more known about being a
of
cutman,
course,
but I'm more of a boxing coach, man.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm stuck on the teaching boxing like in the 60s and 70s, the way boxing used to be. Like you teach guys how to do certain things, how to move and stuff. Like today everybody's using the mitts, and I'm like, and it's the biggest bullshit ever, man. Because at the end of the damn day, like you see these guys on the fucking mitts all the goddamn time. Like, it fucking looks awesome, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Great, oh man, what a great fucking trainer. Yeah, when the bell rings, I don't fucking see none of those combinations in the fight.
Right.
Yeah, there's
Exceptions. There's 2 exceptions that I know of, and you can look them up. Juan Manuel Marquez, whenever you see him working on those mitts, you'll see it in the fight. You can go to the training and then go to the fight, and you'll see those combinations being thrown. Naoya Inoue, same thing.
Yeah.
That Naoya Inoue, the Japanese guy who I consider the pound for pound guy right now.
Yeah.
He's a guy that if you see him working on the mitts, you'll see it in the fight.
So you train. Who are you training right now? I know you had a knockout of the year.
Yeah,
One of your fighters.
Junto
against
Nakatani.
Nakatani against Maloney, right? That was earlier this month. And I saw an interview before that. It wasn't so much an interview, but somebody came up to you with with a camera and asked you about the fight. And he said, "I feel bad for Maloney because he's going to get knocked out." Something I'm paraphrasing, of course. But how did you know going into that fight that was going to happen? Because that's exactly what happened.
Well, I thought that I have a lot of faith in my fighter, Junto. Junto Nakatani is he's like that kid came to me when he was 15.
Yeah.
And he didn't go to school. He quit school and to be a boxer kid. Boxing was his school and his job. And he came here and he has never been. And today he's 25 years old and he's still as humble as ever. He comes to the gym. I go, "Oh, today we're gonna do this." Okay. He never says no. He never says, "Oh, I'm not." No. Do this. He'll do it. And he may not get it right the first or the second or the third time, but he won't. He doesn't stop trying to get it, and he'll figure it out, and he does it. And that's what makes him better than anybody I've ever trained. Better than my brother. My brother was pretty good, but this guy's better. Wow. And again, because this guy, not that my brother couldn't, but he just chose not to. I ain't gonna do that shit. Yeah. I go, just do this shit. Like me and my brother would argue all the damn time. God damn, Jenner, man, I'm just trying to make you fucking better. Yeah. You go, I can do this. I go, like he said, when he fought Floyd, I told him, we're gonna change it up. We're gonna give him a different look. He go like, "Okay, what are you gonna do?" I go, "You're gonna spread your legs, wide, and you're gonna be a step behind. That way he has to reach in, and every time he reaches in, that gives you a chance to react. But if you get close to him, he's gonna kick your ass." And so, you know, man, he ain't gonna do shit. And I go, so my brother does it. He's working like that for the first day. The next day he comes to the gym. He goes, "Man, I ain't gonna do that shit, man. That shit hurts, man. My legs are sore." And I go, "Who gives a fuck? We got 2 months to get ready for this gym. Yeah. So it shouldn't be a problem." Yeah. And he's like, "Man, I'm not gonna do that shit, man. He's never fought anybody like me." And I go, "Motherfucker, you're a dime a dozen and shit, man. You're just a typical boxer." I go, "He's gonna kick your ass." And so, "Man, you're full of shit." And I go, "General, you can't win. You're not gonna fucking beat him like that." And he go like, "Motherfucker, man, you watch." I go, "Watch." Like, I'm gonna watch you get your ass kicked is what I'm gonna watch. And he go like, "Yeah, we'll see, watch." And sure enough, man, at the end of the goddamn day, that fucking said, "I told you, motherfucker, you're gonna get your ass kicked." The next day, I told him.
Did your brother fight Floyd or De La Hoya first?
De La Hoya first.
Okay, so he had lost to De La Hoya before he fought Floyd. Those are the only 2 fighters he lost to, was Floyd and De La Hoya.
But Shane Mosley broke my brother's nose in the gym 2 weeks before the fight.
Well,
and my brother used it as an excuse. I never use it as an excuse. I just like to tell the story that that's how good Shane was. A badass, man. Yeah. And he remember really used to fucking, man, they had the best fights in the gym ever.
Was that at LA Boxing?
LA Boxing.
Yeah.
Gennaro against and Shane Mosley were, man, those guys were fucking like they were fucking badasses, man.
Yeah.
And Shane, okay, when Shane was at 154 and my brother was 139, Shane was just too big and small for my brother. But when Shane was 140 and my brother was 138, there was a big fucking difference. Yeah. They were just like matched up really well. And they were fucking like, they were just really, and again, my brother was a little bit older. And, but Shane did not have he didn't have the big advantage he did as opposed to like being at 154. Yeah. You know? And but it was like people would stop to watch them spar. Yeah. People like would stop hitting the bags and go check watch the spar because they were that good.
Yeah, I mean in retrospect, those are 2 great fighters, both arguably Hall of Famers.
And my brother was a great gym fighter.
Yeah. He beat Azumah Nelson at the Forum when he won the title, right? Is that
him it was in El Paso, Texas.
Oh, it was in Texas? Yeah. But that's who he won the title from, right?
That's when he won the WBC belt.
Keep me honest here. I think that was the fight where in the last round he punched him in the...
it wasn't like in the...
It was towards the end of the fight, right?
No.
So, you tell. Yeah. No. So I saw this a long time ago, but Chicanito got hit in the throat. It was an illegal shot by Azumah Nelson. The fight was over then, if he wanted it to be, and he could have taken the title.
Yeah. No, the belt. Okay, the story goes on. the bell rings.
Yeah.
And as soon as the bell rings, my brother drops his guard, and Azumah hits him with the overhand right, and he was right, and then
Oh shit.
and it dropped. My brother just crumbled down.
Yeah.
Because it was like a second or two after the bell rang, and so my brother's laying there on the damn canvas, man, and I'm like, damn, man, it was after the bell, and then Jose Suleiman,
Yeah.
the president of the WBC, he saw the replay, and he saw that the bell had rang already when my brother was hit after the bell, and you gotta remember that the night before, Roy Jones had got disqualified.
Oh,
And so it was the night before, that was the first time that Roy Jones had ever lost, and he was disqualified. And so then, the next day my brother's fighting Azumah Nelson. And so he's about to win by disqualification. But I get into that, I'm in the ring with my brother, and I go, hey man, you gotta continue fighting. He goes, I can't. I go, yes you can. And then so he goes like, okay, we got 5 minutes to get, to recuperate. So during the 5 minutes, I'm telling my brother, I go, man, you're painting a great masterpiece, man, and champions are made by fighting, not on their backs. And he goes, well, it's your call. Well, should I say you get your ass up and continue fighting and beat him? And then he goes, all right, fuck it, let's do it. And then my brother gets up, and then the referee, Lawrence Cole comes over. He goes, okay, everybody get out of the ring. Okay, so we're gonna continue. And I go, no, the bell just rang, and so you owe me a minute rest. Okay, so I got an additional minute. And so now I'm with my brother. I'm in the corner with my brother, telling him, "Okay, this is what you're gonna do." I go, "You're gonna give away that round." I go, "This next round, you're gonna just move around, hold them, push them around, get them off, and just until you feel comfortable enough to where like you feel like you're back." And he goes, "Okay." And so my brother's moving around, grabs him. In the video, you can see that someone else has his hands down, and my brother has his hands and his thumbs holding his arms. And someone else, and you can see him look down, like, what is he doing? Like, it was just one of those quick moments, like.
yeah.
And so my brother went on to win that fight. And but when they announced we have a split decision, I'm like, oh man. I thought I had fucked it up because we had already won, but here I'm telling him that he should continue fighting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I said, damn man. And I told my brother, I said after the bell rang, after he was announced the winner, after he's announced the winner, I told my brother, okay, I said, hey, you have a lot of respect for the sport, and also I go, and also for someone else.
Yeah.
And he's a world champion, and you got to beat it. In order to be a champion, you got to beat a champion.
Wow.
So in short, he had an opportunity to take the easy way out, win by disqualification, but he did what a true champion does, and kept going and won it on the cards.
Yeah.
And that's why I think when everyone, there's a lot of people that bring up your brother Chicanito, even Mayweather. Whenever anyone that knows anything about Mayweather, one of the fights, if not the fight that he talks about the most, is the fight with your brother with Chicanito. So it's like in boxing, everyone that has stories about your brother, it's always very positive. It's always they praise him a lot. What made your brother so special and so loved in the boxing community?
He's a fucking nice guy.
Yeah.
He's a fucking dumbass, man. I swear, man. He's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
That's why
He was a nice guy.
He's a fucking general, man. God damn it, man. I go, you know how they always say that the nice guys always finish last.
Yeah.
I think that one of the things about that made my brother different was that and this is the honest truth.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like after his fourth world title fight.
Yeah.
Him being a world champion already, after the fourth time, he kind of understood that he was a world champion.
Wow.
But he never walked around feeling like I'm a world champion. Okay, this is how he was. Okay, at LA boxing.
Yeah.
So he gets in the ring, does 3 rounds with the guy, right? He gets off the ring, and I go, "What are you doing?" "Oh, they're gonna go 3 rounds first, and then I'm gonna jump in." "Oh, go get your ass back in there, man. You're a fucking world champion and shit, man." They go, "No. Get the fuck out of here with that world championship, man." My brother got off the goddamn ring. Those other guys went and did 3 rounds, and then he jumped in to do another 3.
Wow.
I fucking Jerry, what, you're a fucking idiot or what? He goes, I go, that's the luxuries of being a world champion. Unwritten rules. The champion always stays in the ring.
Yeah.
I go, well, you earned that right.
Yeah.
And like I said, unwritten rules.
Yeah.
And like but he didn't. He goes, nah man, you know what? Man, fuck that. I go, first of all, they're fighting 2 weeks before I am.
Yeah.
And so they got to be ready before me. So I go, fucking John. All right, you know, motherfucker. Okay, so they would spar. Me and him would do the mitts, and then he'd go back and do the sparring.
Wow.
But he never walked around feeling like he was a world champion. He would get embarrassed and get and blush. And, hey, campeón. Like, damn man, he go, why can't people just leave me alone, man? Shit, man, I don't fucking, because he didn't like crowds. He didn't like a lot of people. He had a certain way of doing things, and when he became a world champion, and it's not like he was a world champion just for a couple of times.
Yeah.
He was a world champion from November of '91 to October of '98.
Yeah.
And so, for 7 years, man, he had to deal with the fact that he was known.
Yeah.
I guess known.
That's amazing. Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. I appreciate it. So there's a few things I want to ask, and you kind of mentioned one already, but you talked about Alexis Arguello, and you had a sparring match, and you talked about Chicanito and Shane Mosley having like some of the best fights at LA boxing. A lot of the best fights in boxing don't make it to TV, don't make it out. They're in the gym. So we always hear about certain fights, like there's Eddie the Animal Lopez. There's like stories of him sparring Muhammad Ali, and then there's like stories of Edwin Valero and all these like legendary matches. Can you tell us maybe a few matches that maybe people haven't necessarily seen, but you've seen because you have that front row view that are just stood out to you?
Like I said, man, any Shane Mosley training, man, was a fight.
Yeah.
Shane was a badass, man.
Yeah.
and he was the most, and like my brother, a very likable. Like who did not like Shane Mosley?
Yeah.
Shane Mosley was a very humble, very talented, and very gifted fighter. I would say athlete too, because he was pretty good at other sports and stuff. But boxing was his calling, and he was really good. But man, I got to see a lot of world champions train. But they didn't fight as hard as the next generations.
Okay.
Like Ruben Olivares and Mantequilla Napoles. Oh no! Let me tell you about Mantequilla Napoles.
Yeah.
I'm watching the sparring session, right? And to me, Mantequilla Napoles is the greatest fighter ever.
Wow.
Better than anybody else. You're not going to find another fighter who fought like him. I challenge you guys to see any video of his fights where Napoles does this, or like he's moving, blocking. That guy did this. That's all he did. That's all he did. He never put his hands up. Even in sparring, man, like he was moving and punching, and he hit this guy with a jab. He slipped a punch and came back with a jab, a hard jab, and he busted the guy's eyebrow with headgear and all.
Sure.
I mean, you know how hard you have to be able to hit that with that jab, man? And like videos that you watch on YouTube and all that, you're not gonna get the quality of live, like how fast they really were. TV was slow back then. It wasn't as like today's TV. Not everything is like on point. But over there, what you're watching on TV, it's slow because those guys were faster, a lot faster. And he would move, he would slip punches, man, and he was just a badass, man. And I thought he was the best. I saw Edwin Valero. He sparred with Urbano Antillon. Yeah. And that day, one day we came to the gym and we put all three of my boys. It took three guys to spar with Edwin Valero to keep him, kind of humble. And we only did 3 rounds. 3 rounds this guy, 3 rounds that one, 3 that guy. Wow. And Edwin said that he wasn't in shape that day, that he was a little off. Yeah. But he came back and then he said he was gonna show them. And sure enough, he got on Dion with a I think with a hook, man. He caught him coming in. he reached over to hit him, and Edwin Valero just turned sideways, man, turned back a little bit, and fired that right hook and hit him right in the jaw, man.
Yeah.
My boy's face at the time he was my fighter. His face went almost like completely with the punch, man.
Wow.
Turned him like almost turned him around, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn. And he was wobbling, man, and he pretty much knocked him out in the gym. And another one was he would hit you in the arms.
Yeah.
And was Armando Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
That's who he sparred. It was Urbano, Antillon, and Santa Cruz and somebody else. And he said, damn it, he cheats, man. Oh, Robert Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
He goes, man, he cheats. I go, why does he cheat? He goes, he hits in the arms. I go, that's not cheating.
Yeah.
But Edwin Valero was something else, man. But like Mantequilla, Napoles, and or even Ruben Olivares, when I saw him spar, they weren't in there to hurt the sparring partners. They were working on technique and moving, like letting their punches. Every once in a while, when the sparring partner would get out of hand, the better guys would hit you hard, like boom, give you like a good shot to let you know that, hey, I got you.
Yeah.
So have a little bit of respect.
Yeah,
Kind of
absolutely.
stuff, man. But when you went to the main street, to the Olympic gym, see how I just mentioned the Olympic gym?
Yeah.
It wasn't the alley boxing, it was the Olympic gym.
Oh, wow.
And at that time, there was always a contender training.
Yeah.
There was always. And every once in a while, a world champion was there training. But Bobby Chicano was training there at the time and stuff, man. That's another guy who was just too much of a badass for his own good.
Yeah, his fight with Bazooka Limon, that fourth fight was crazy.
What about Bazooka Limon? What about with Boza Edwards?
Yeah.
You seen that one?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, those fights are intense.
It was Bazooka Limon, Boza Edwards,
And he fought Little Red Lopez too.
yeah, but that wasn't as good as those three because they fought 3 times.
Yeah.
Boza Edwards and Bazooka Limon and Bobby Chicano. If you those 3 guys, mix those, because Boza Edwards fought Bazooka Limon.
Yeah.
And they fought Bobby Chicano. And those guys, when you see those 3, because they had 3 fights each, those are great freaking fights. Those will make you want to watch boxing.
For sure.
Yeah.
What are your top 5 favorite fights of all time?
Yeah, man.
You don't have to give them in order.
It would be really hard, man. But okay, Chico Corrales against Castillo.
Okay.
The first one. That's a fucking bad.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, we were.
And then I would say Bobby Chicano against Boza Edwards, or against Bazooka Limon, or Bazooka Limon against Boza Edwards.
Yeah.
Those were badass fights. Ray Boom Boom Mancini's fights were great. Bobby Chicano, but shit, man. Those were. I think those are my top ones, man. I've seen so many death fights. You'll remember. Oh yeah, that one too, man. But I just forgot. I forget now.
You've probably forgotten more fights than we've seen together.
Probably.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So we know you spent a lot of time in Japan. You have some Japanese fighters that you work with. Where we grew up in the same area, like here in LA. Like, what are some of the differences of like the Japanese culture, the Japanese way of doing things?
Oh man, the world of difference, man. You're talking about 2 completely different worlds, man. First of all, you gotta take responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, when in Japan you'll see kids 4, 5, 6, maybe I'm gonna go with maybe 6, 7, 8 year old kids, or maybe even younger. They're walking in a group all together going to school, and parents are watching, but kind of from far.
Yeah.
But they're letting them go. And like in Japan my friend said it best. She goes, Japan takes care of Japan. Remember that tsunami hit in Japan? Japan didn't ask the world for help.
Yeah.
And I asked her, why not? She goes, oh, because Japan takes care of Japanese.
Yeah.
Our own will take care of our own.
Yeah.
And so they get together. They're not looking for nobody else's help. It's a unity.
Yeah.
The honor things they do. Like you don't take what's not yours. You respect your elders.
So there's no Alexis in Japan.
You have to be accounted for your time.
Yeah.
Everything is like I said, told you guys earlier. Like if you get there on time, you're late.
Yeah.
And if I heard the story once not too long ago. Well, I've heard it a long time ago, but he goes the guy comes late to work in Japan, and he tells I'm sorry I'm late because I had these things to do. And now you're pissed off the owner. Now he's mad at you. Like, get your ass to work.
Yeah.
And somebody else. Now it's a different person. I'm sorry I'm late. Okay, go to work. Go to work. You make up for it by going to work.
Yeah.
He knows that this shit happens.
Yeah.
Nobody's fucking perfect. But if you own it and just apologize and you're sincere about it, yeah, go ahead. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Because we're all human.
Yeah.
But just own it and go. And don't lead by example. That's one thing that's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna tell you to do something that they wouldn't do. And also it's like I said, the honor and the respect is something else, man. Like look at World War II. We won the war, and our country is humongous because California, the state of California, is bigger than the whole country of Japan.
Yeah.
But yet, who's really, better off? And the thing is that in this country, the problem is that there's nobody's accountable. I like that I've been to Singapore. There's a big sign that says as soon as the plane door opens, there's a big sign that says dispose of your narcotics because the punishment here is death.
Fuck.
That's what it says. And then you walk through that wall. Then just before you enter the airport, now you're going to enter the airport. It says last chance. Dispose of your narcotics because the punishment here is death, and big word death.
Wow.
So you got two chances already. And if you're screwed. They're not bullshitting.
Yeah.
You do any kind of graffiti over there, boom, they're gonna crack your ass.
Yeah.
They get one of the little bone stick. It's
the whips.
Like a whip almost.
Yeah, but it's a stick. Yeah, it's a whip. So as soon as it hits you, boom, it breaks your skin. That requires stitches. So they're gonna crack your ass like 3 times.
Wow.
For graffiti.
You can even chew gum over there, right?
Imagine if we had rules like that here.
Shit, completely different.
It'd be different. Like I have a problem with when I look out that window, I want to make sure that I'm happy seeing what I see.
Yeah.
So I have to clean my own place up.
Yeah.
But I got neighbors and everybody else. Nobody gives a fuck. And in Mexico, back in the days, man, everybody in the morning got up to clean their side of the street, and half of the street over here is my side, half of the street is the other person's over there. They do their cleaning, sometimes a little bit later than the others, but they're all clean. And you go down the streets, man, and they're clean. And they come here, man, and they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You're just dirty, man, and it bothers me.
You've traveled all over the world with boxing, with the UFC. You've seen just about, like everything that there is to see from the boxing perspective. What have been like some of the places that you've been where you've liked the most, like outside of boxing, like I like this town, and also what like fight towns or what arenas have you been there that you're like shit, like this atmosphere is cracking?
Well, all the arenas are cracking, because everybody's being entertained and they're watching, and like but the English, the English are they're like 2 steps rowdier than anybody else, man. But they're fucking badasses, man. It is fun, and it's a great atmosphere.
Okay.
Yeah. So and they're chanting and singing, and it's fucking awesome, man.
So the English
and the English are awesome, man. And the old country, I like Russia. Russia reminds me of what Mexico and the United States used to be back in the 60s and 70s, where there's respect for your elders and people. It's just like they're always cooking, and it's for everybody to eat.
Yeah.
Everybody gets to eat, man. You know? And there's nobody like, oh, I have seniority. No, it's a very humble place, man. And I like Russia, man. It's like we look at the politics and stuff like that, and it's a little different. Yeah. But the people, man, it's a different story. Wow. It's a great place to be.
That's awesome.
And again, like I said, the respect. I like, and I know it doesn't sit well with a whole lot of people because it's different generations, right? So like a man is a man.
Yeah. We like to wrap up all our interviews with a fun segment called Rapid Fire. Okay. So these are the rules. Carlos and I are gonna take turns asking you simple questions, 2 options. You don't think, you just give us your answers.
I'm good at that, man, but that shit tends to bite me in the ass.
No, they're good. That's why we picked the questions.
Because I'll tell you what, okay, here's one example. I'll give you a great example. I think it's a great example. My wife says, honey, does this dress make me look fat? I go, no, honey, you're doing pretty good on your own. Did I just say that? Oh, shit. Yeah, that's why I say that. She gives me
no.
bite me in the ass.
These are
all right. Shoot.
These are targeted questions. You want to kick it off?
Yeah. Okay. Winning or Everlast?
Winning.
Okay.
All right. This is a local question. Chihuahuateco or King Taco?
Chihuahuateco, but they closed down there. Dumbasses.
Okay. So let's go with Chevy or Ford.
Chevy. Forever off the road disabled. No.
So you're into cars. Classic Car Magazine or Lowrider Magazine?
Fuck, man. Both.
Both time.
Okay.
Tapatio hot sauce or Cholula?
I don't use either.
Either?
Anything else that you want to leave our listeners with before we wrap up?
Yeah, from the ghetto to the world, and
awesome.
It doesn't matter where the hell you're from. I think that if you just do the right thing and venture out of this circle, if you can venture out, you'll see things differently, and who knows, man, it'll lead to a different life.
I think we just found our YouTube title.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
for the ghetto to the world.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Anything from you, Carlos?
No, thank you. I appreciate it. We appreciate your time, and thank you for all the stories that you shared with us.
We look forward to hopefully talking with you again. I know we enjoyed it, and I'm sure our listeners will enjoy listening to some more of your stories, man. For all our listeners, thank you very much for listening and tuning in. This is another installment of Corner to Corner Boxing, where we cover all angles of the sweet science with the legendary Rudy Hernandez. Thank you.